APG Jamie here, and today we're gonna make a grass journal. It's all about the grass, y'all. Anyway, it was inspired by a poem I wrote back in early 2020, which I did a little cover just for that one poem. And I thought, no, I've got all this faux grass, because, you know, you get it in the carpet rug department of your local hardware store, and you got to buy, you know, when you buy it, you buy the width, which is 12 foot in this case. So I got 12 by 12, a 12 foot long by 12 inches wide, and the guy actually kind of gave me a little extra. So it's really like 1.5 feet wide or more. And anyway, so I've got all this faux grass, and I'm like, well, I'm going to make a real journal cover, okay? Now, I'm making this cover, and eventually when I get enough, because y'all know I like to art journal on flat cardstock, so when I get enough of them done, I'll be assembling them in this here cover. Until then, it's just going to be an empty cover, okay? So it will have no guts, but it's fun, and I am just so stinking happy with how well it came out. Now, my original measurements were going to be 9 by 11.5, but somebody just got those even measure, or you know, non-halves measures in their head, so it's 9 by 11. Which, you know, that means my paper will probably just be sticking just a wee bit out the endish, sort of, maybe, not really, because of the way the grass flows over the end. So it's relatively easy to cut. Now, because of the prior journal I'd done, you know, for that poem, I noticed that the edges, the black edges, are just really stuck out like a sore thumb to me. Now, I know it's not real grass. I know it's not really going to look like real grass, but, you know, for a split second there, you're like, dang, that's a grass journal. That's a journal made out of grass, y'all. So I decided on this one I'm going to paint that black edge a wee bit. So that's what I'm doing. And at some point or another, I'll have a close-up photograph, because I'm not sure you can tell in the video what I'm talking about. There we go. And I'm not sure you can even tell on the photograph what I'm talking about. But anyway, it made me feel better to do that. So here we are outside. Now, you can't just use any glue with this stuff. You've got to use like a contact cement or spray adhesive. So I'm using a spray adhesive. Now, the one in the photograph for the promo is not the same one I used, because I sprayed that one and it was stopped up. It wasn't going to do anymore. So I had to get my other can, which is a different brand, which is what's listed in the description box below the video. Click on the phrase "show more" to see more pertinent information about the ingredients and stuff that I use. Okay, so this is, I think it's like a paper that florists use to wrap up flowers. I don't know. A friend of mine gave me a roll, and I'm like, that's perfect, that'll do. And it does work really well. I adhere it down with the spray adhesive, aka spray glue, and it has stuck really well to the first little cover I made, and so far it has stuck well to this one. I even tried to pull it off, but I'm not going to try real hard, okay? But I also will put another liner paper on the inside, okay? Okay, this is just so that I can glue liner paper to it. Does that make sense? Because regular glue, okay. So there we go. And it's a piece of parchment paper I have, and I really should use a clean one instead of one that's got little paint stuffs on it. And I'm using that because it is a thin fibrous, I don't know if it's even paper, y'all. It's fabric-y kind of, I don't know what it is. And so the glue kind of tries to come through it. Now I'm smooshing it down really well, because this is a texture-y thing, y'all. So I used a bone folder, not a real bone, and I'm smooshing it down, and now it's fairly dry, so I'm using my hands and I'm just smooshing, trying to get everything all down in little lines, and I will leave that set overnight. This is a one of those drying type projects, y'all. Okay, so yeah, just trimming off some little loose things there. So just trimming them off. And I made it just a wee bit bigger so I could trim it off, because I'd rather have the whole thing covered than miscovered. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Portions of this video have been sped up for your viewing and voicing over pleasure. Okay? I'm not sure how long the video is. Long enough, I'm going to suppose. And I've got this, I made Molly a thunder box, you know, a little doggy house that she can get in when it thunders, because she doesn't like thunders and firecrackers and those kind of noises and junk. So I made it with a single box, and then I put layers of box inside so that it's a double, triple wall cardboard box, so it will, you know, pretty much stop the thundering sounds and firecracker sounds. So anyway, that's what this is. This is just a leftover piece of box, and I'm trimming that down because I'm using fabric for my spine. Just wait for it. And I actually want that reinforced. I don't want it all flippy floppy, you know, like fabric can be. So I'm going to put just a single sheet of corrugated board between two pieces of fabric. And I almost wish I'd made my fabric about an inch wider, but it worked just fine. This worked just fine. I couldn't tell you what my measurements were. I think my spine, that cardboard spine there, is maybe 2 inches, and the fabric is maybe 4 inches, 3.5. I don't know. And I'm cutting it just a wee bit shorter than my fabric because I want my fabric to come over the piece of cardboard. Now I have fabric because y'all know I'm an old time quilter, so I've got a carp load of fabric. Okay, should make a quilt topper 500. And I thought, well, how am I going to close it? And I thought, well, let's use this here rope, which I actually had my ribbon spools tied up on, and I thought, I need that for something else. So I tied that on something else. And I'm just kind of basically marking the center. And in a minute, I'll be marking the center of a lot of things. But in the end, I can't see where the center was, so I was just guesstimating and eyeballing it anyway. So there we go. And I end up letting this dry overnight once we get to that point. Okay, so there's drying time in this, y'all. Now I'm trying to piddle farting around with this here centering ruler, and I'm just, I don't know, y'all. Sometimes measuring is just such a handicap for me. Actually doing it works, but then it just becomes a handicap anyway. So I'm like, yeah, let's put the center on this too, because, you know, once you get glue on it, you will be able to see that pencil line. Okay, well, and we put it on the wrong side anyway. Whatever. Let's use this tacky glue. I don't waste y'all's time seeing me smear glue on, because all I did was smoosh it out and smear it around. So it's all covered, and I'm going to put my ropes on there. Cording, jute, whatever it is, y'all. I'm like, yeah, there's an invisible line there. But it's still centered. I still got it marked for center. So there we go. And meanwhile, that the cover and that inside fabricy, papery stuff is drying. They both dry overnight, over the same night, I reckon. Yeah, probably something like that. So here's my fabric, and I'm like, well, what am I doing? Well, I don't even know why I flip-flopped everything all around, just because I am so special like that. And I'm like, no, I'm not lining up the top. I don't want to line that up at the top. Scoosh it down. It'll be all right. Just, yeah, it works. It works. See, my line's on this side. Bless my heart, y'all. I put the darker side towards the outside of the spine in case any of that white should happen to shine through, because, you know, sometimes that happens when you use colored board or stuff like that. It will kind of shine through just a little bit. So now we've glued up the other part, the back side, and we're going to put this with the pretty side up, because this side will be on the inside of the joinal. And the rope, you know, the twine, whatever, comes across the spine, and it's got this nice little bump in it. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. Can't see it because that fabric right there, it was a Christmas fabric. I don't know. It's real pretty. It's got some gold on it and everything. So anyway, we're just smooshing it all down. We're getting it all happily married, and we got stuff, pressing under heavy books wherever they are. Now it's the next day, and everything's dry as far as I can tell. So we're just going to use this Aleene's Fast Grab Tacky Glue. Okay, and I'm smooshing it all around. I am using a brush, and it is kind of absorbing into that paper fiber, whatever that stuff is. All right, but it is stuck well to the plastic underside of the faux grass. Okay, I probably could have used Yes Paste, but whatever. This is what I had out, and this is what I'm using because I've rolled that way. So we're smooshing it all around. Nope, that part didn't stick, so we're sticking that down, and it ended up staying stuck. This is the part where the spine's going on that right side there anyway, so that's kind of like a reinforcer kind of thing. How well will this stay together and hold up? I don't know, because once I get flat journal pages bound into it, I will probably only look at it once or twice a year. So it's not going to get heavy use anyway. I like it. So I'm using my roller, and I'm smooshing it all down, and I will weight this down under heavy books. I think I even show you a picture. Oh no, that's later. Later I show you a picture. Let's do the other side, same way. And I thought, well, we're going to do eyelets. So all I had was silver eyelets, and I'm like, no, that's too shiny. So we got the alcohol inks out, and we just putting some meadow or whatever color green that is on the eyelets, on the silver eyelets. It dulls them down just enough. And this here is my hole punching. I marked it up, didn't film because centering, whatever. And I plan on when I do bind it, they will be 3-hole pamphlet stitch with a twist, which means I've put eyelets in the spine so I can run my sewing thread through the eyelet holes. Okay, and I was going to put my eyelets in, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing? Stop that. That's your template. You got to punch all these other holes first. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know. I'll probably show all of them. It looks like I'm going to show you all the hole punching because y'all need to see how to hole punch. Don't you? I think you do. You won't need to see it after this video, but Okay, so now I can see the end of the video, and it is not quite a 20-minute video. You're welcome. So I've got my template out, and I will use that later when I do go to put in the journal pages. So we're putting our eyelets in with the pretty side out, and I'm answering the phone over there. And now we're going to crimp it down. Now I have crimping issues, y'all. Hand issues. So a lot of times when I use eyelets, I have to come back with a hammer and smash them. So, and I'm okay with that. So I should just be further down that handle, but whatever. Whatever, y'all. It's perfect for me. So I just keep doing that ad nauseum until I get all million holes in there. I think it's like 15 eyelets because it's got 5 holes on the top, middle, and bottom. I zoomed in a little bit, and here's my rope and all that. This is the inside, and I'm going to fold this piece of fabric towards the inside. And remember, this is a double-sided piece of, it's fabric on one side, fabric on the other. It's not sewed. It's just, crimped together with eyelets. Taping it together, and I'm going to use some glue I picked up at the Dollar Tree. Somebody mentioned a while back about the Dollar Tree having some beacon glue for foam board, poster board stuff, and I thought, well, I need some of that. And as it turned out, I really did need it. Just maybe not at that exact moment. Now this is some stinky glue. Okay, it is acetone based glue, so it's it's stinky. You're supposed to use it in a well ventilated area, blah blah blah, precautions, blah blah blah. Don't get in your eyes, don't drink it, don't eat it, don't whatever. So that's what I'm using. It's supposed to remain flexible, and I thought, well, that's going to be perfect. So we're going to put that over. This is the outside front, okay? So I'm smooshing it on there. You should line things up a little bit better before you actually put them in a glue. I don't think this glue is the same as Fabri-Tac or whatever that other one Beacon makes. Same stuff, slightly different name. So as you can see, I'm encasing the cover in the fabric. All right. I didn't test it, and I thought, oh gosh, I hope it doesn't melt that grass. Faux grass. How y'all like that paper on the inside? That's a wrapping paper, and it's fairly heavy, not super heavy, but it's kind of heavy. Now smooshing it all down. And now we're going to do the back side, straight stretching my rope out there, because that's how we're going to tie it closed. Not that I necessarily will need to tie it closed, but it's on there, and that's how it is. Chuckle. And I might not even needed to use quite that much glue, but that's me. Sometimes more is not better, but sometimes more is better. And we're going to put that on there. And again, I did not check out my lining up, and I'm like, yeah, I guess that's going to work, because that's what we did. And I got lucky. Y'all got lucky. Serendipitous. So now we're going to put it on the inside of that fabric. And this will dry. I think I let this dry over weekend, because I think by that time it was a weekend. I don't know, y'all. It's like this whole other month ago. No, it wasn't a month ago. So video is stalled on my end. There we go. Just smooshing it all down. And again, I'm going to get my baking parchment paper that is really, really nice, because stuff doesn't stick to it. And there we go. We smashed that under a book for a weekend. It might have been longer than a weekend. Whatever. And here it is. Here it is. Here's my rope. Here's the grass. As you can see, it's got a grain to it. It seems to be working pretty fine, y'all. Could have zoomed out a wee bit more, I guess. Well, it's pretty big. It's 11 by 9. So, see? Nice. Nice. So now we're going to tie it shut. So you can see that it ties shut. These were just leftover scrap pieces of rope, twine, jute, whatever. I thought I used to have a roll of it, but I must have used that all up, because I couldn't find the roll anymore. So, ta-da! There will be a photo montage. It's very exciting stuff, y'all. Love it. Now we're going to tie it and show you again, because you might have missed something the first time. So you can see where I kind of hammered them. It's just like, whatever. You won't be able to see them once it gets signatures in there. Oh, photo montage! Y'all know my usual spiel. I appreciate each and every one of you. Your kind comments, your likes, your shares. We really like those shares, y'all. I sometimes don't know who shares, because I don't get that kind of notifications. And your subscriptions. If you've not already subscribed, I would like to invite you to subscribe at this time. Click the bell for notifications of new videos and live shows on the third Thursday of the month, if you have your account set up for that. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and happy arting, y'all!